Discover that fantastic point where science and magic meet. Welcome to Healing with the Rainbow Rays. Your host is Alijandra, the internationally known healer, teacher, and author. Alijandra's website is www.colorhealing.com. Healing with the Rainbow Rays will inform, inspire, uplift, illuminate, and transform you. This show explores all the different metaphysical, self-help, ascension, and holistic realms of consciousness. And its underlying theme is the art of color energy healing. Here is Alijandra.
Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Monday night show, Healing with the Rainbow Rays. And happy to always be here with you all. We have the chat room open, so feel free to go in. And, there'll be some readings tonight later, so if you are interested in the chat room, let us know as soon as possible. We'll only be able to take a limited amount. So if you are interested, let us know right up from the front. The call-in number, same thing for all of you, and we do it in order. And it's 347-945-6930, 347-945-6930. Anyway, so I hope everybody is doing well. It's a good start to a week that you're having, and feels okay here. And we had our sun break through after a huge storm here for the last 3 days in Northern California. And now they're saying it's going to be dry all week and up to 70. So, we could use some more rain, but this is it's a good start. It's a good start. So, hopefully, all of you are having a productive week as well. And I'm real excited about bringing my guest on again tonight. And I'm going to go right to her because it's never enough time for the show to have her on. So I do want to do 2 quick announcements of classes that are coming up, or actually one class and an available MP3. So first off, I'm going to be doing Through the Wormhole with Alijandra, a webinar, and it's part 3. I've done 2 previous ones, and that will be on February 21st at 4 p.m. in the afternoon. It's a couple hours, 2.5 hours long. And there's an MP3 that you get. So if you do miss it due to scheduling, you can still be a part of it and participate in it and get the MP3 later. And part 2 is available for purchase. I need to get it up on the website, and I thought I was going to get to it today and didn't quite make it. So I would say, let's say it's going to be available sometime later tomorrow, Tuesday. So if you're interested in getting that one, you weren't able to go to part 2, it is available to you. So anyway, let's get right to our guest. Again, one more time for the switchboard, 347-945-6930, and chat room is open, and yay, everybody there. And here we go. So we're having Elizabeth Summers on again tonight, and she is our numerology expert, actually esoteric numerology. She spiritually guides clients, and she's been doing this since 1988, and she provides practical information. She combines ancient numerology, astrology, and tarot in her readings for her clients. This has been unusual, I think, to do all of these, as one session. Rather than like one in astrology, one in tarot, or one in numerology. She combines it all into one. So it's pretty cool. And she writes a column on numerology called The Magical World of Numbers, and it's published in 12 internet and print magazines. Wow. So that's really fun to be able to have a column and have it so syndicated out there like that. I think that's great. And she also makes frequent guest appearances on other radio shows, and she has her own show. And let me give you the time on that. It is, I know it's already in the chat room, but for those of you listening, it's called The Magical World of Numbers Radio, and it can be heard every Wednesday, Saturday, and Sunday girlfriend, you can't do 3 nights a week. Are you doing 3 nights a week? Oh my gosh. I hardly made it with 2. I'm back down to 1. I don't know how anyone can do 3 nights and be as busy as you are. And she is on Blog Talk Radio as well, and she's 7 p.m. Mountain Time, so because she's in Colorado. So, like right now, it's at 7 o'clock Mountain Time, at 6 o'clock Pacific here. So that's when you can catch her. And her website is www.themagicalworldofnumbers, all one word, themagicalworldofnumbers.com. And so you can go there to peruse and just click on whatever tab you're needing. If you're needing a reading, to contact her, whatever else. The choices are there because I went over to her site. It's real pretty. She has humor, practicality, insight, and she lays down the foundation for this incarnation and the year ahead for all her clients. That's typical for some of the readings. And so we'll have her be doing many readings today because of the time frame, obviously, is short. And we'll be in the second half of the show. And it's an hour and a half tonight. We're not an hour. We're an hour and a half tonight. So about 40 minutes in, we'll start that. And I wanted to mention, too, I'll let her go into more detail about it, but she has a Valentine special reading offer that expires, so you got to get it now. It expires actually before Valentine's Day. It expires by the 12th, but it's a great, perfect Valentine gift to give to a friend, loved one, or even yourself. We should be our own Valentines now. You know that. And it's very practical, empowering information. And I know she does I don't know if this is involved in it exactly, but this is a 6-month reading, numerology reading, which goes through all the issues and trends and stuff. So anyway, and then it's obviously phone readings, and it takes in the next 6 months, and a 30-minute reading on trends, and you do get an MP3. So hopefully I haven't bungled all that up. She can get more specific with all that. But let's definitely bring her on. So please give a warm welcome to Elizabeth Summers. Hi, sweetie.
Hey, hi. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, and so I'm so glad to have you back. You've been, like, when did you come last? I think of the fall you were here last.
It was a while back.
Yeah.
We had a
2 months, summer, in the summer. Yeah, but it's just so fast.
You wouldn't know better than I. It was a while back, but that's fun. And
yeah,
we're here
and
again.
then you put on. Pardon me?
And we're here again.
We are here again, and that's great. And I think it's been at least, in addition to the two, this was late 2014, and now I think it's been at least another 3 times that you've been on. So I'm thinking you might be the most. The one I've had, there's maybe 1 or 2 others that I've had on as often as you. So you're definitely a regular. So anyway, welcome back.
That's cool.
I know, that is. So anyway, I know that your topic tonight you want to talk to people about it's entitled 2 plus 7 plus 9 equals forgiveness. Now I'm adding this up here, 7, 99, that's an 18. Isn't that the Tower card, or is that 17?
No, the Tower card is actually 16-7.
Oh, 16.
Yeah, that's the Tower card. Actually, if you add all those together, it's the Moon card, which is 18-9. But what I have done and what I want to talk to people about is the energy of the number 2 and the energy separate of the number 7 and the energy of the number 9, and if we practice all of those in a balanced way, it will guide us to forgiveness. Forgiveness is such an issue with my clients, my radio show, whatever, and so I'm trying to help people get it, of how to forgive, actually, and a lot of it shows up in their numerological name. So we're going to talk about that tonight. Not necessarily going to add the whole thing together. Actually speaking, Alijandra, that if we add it to 7 plus 9, we get 18. The number 18 is one of the minor codes, karma codes, that have to do with learning gratitude, learning gratefulness. 18-9 is a virtue, the virtue connected to 18-9, if we added it across, which we're not going to do tonight, is gratitude. No, tonight we're going to talk about various aspects of a personality, those that have the 2s, the 7s, and the 9s in their birth name, that if they work on it and work on it in a balanced way, they will find it much easier to forgive. Much easier to forgive.
Well, it's a topic that's necessary, as you said, and it's like front and center for a lot of clients. I run into it too.
Yes.
I don't know, it's just a difficult thing for people to get to a place, especially when they're feeling so angry, and it could be, a lot of justified things, if something tragic has happened by someone who's perpetrated a crime or something on a family. I mean, one of the biggest things is learning, you don't forget, but you have to learn how to forgive, even with some of the most, atrocious things that can happen. But even just minor stuff of forgiveness, just small things, it seems like it's not an easy thing to do.
It's a choice. And the thing of it is, what I want all of our listeners to do now, if they can, unless they're driving up the highway on a superhighway, I want them to print, not write, I want them to print their birth certificate name. First name, middle name, last name. And some people say to me when I ask them for this, because an entire numerology chart based on the birth certificate name, they say, well, I don't use my middle name. And I say, I do not care. I want whatever is on that birth certificate name. Why? Because in the work that I do a 5,000-year-old code system that uses the numbers 1 through 8 that are simply codes. The numbers have no power. And I want people to understand that, because they think, Alijandra, how can numbers tell me anything? How can? Well, what we write on paper, that hopefully the people will be doing tonight who are listening, what they write on paper are numerals. What numerals represent are quantities. Numbers are abstract, that they represent qualities. And so therefore, what I do in the work that I do is I interpolate the qualities that are found by code in a person's birth certificate name. Why? Because those codes that are found, every letter in your birth certificate name is assigned a number with Elizabeth, 1 through 8, a 5,000-year-old system, 1 through 9, a 2,600-year-old system, and that's what I'm translating as far as like a language, and actually it's called numerolinguistics. And so therefore your birth certificate name to any numerologer, and very importantly to me, by code, looking at those numbers, indicates to me your soul's past life experiences as a human being that you have had, the memory of which is now in your soul's subconscious, now in your memory box. I say it's your suitcases coming in here that are coming into this lifetime to bubble up from the subconscious to be used like tools in a toolbox. So your birth certificate name tells me a lot about what you are working with in this lifetime. Most of the time, people have tools that are missing. Not all the time. Every now and then, I have a client who has every tool in their toolbox. 1 through 9, 1 through 8. And that shows a very powerful human. Very powerful soul coming in here. And it's like, bring it on, been there, done that kind of thing. And they did not have to come into human form. It's one of the codes, one of the interpretations. So what I want to have people do tonight, if they're listening, when they're listening, if they can, instead of, unless they're driving down a highway, is to print their birth certificate name. And as I go through the numbers 2, 7, and 9, I'm going to have them label their birth certificate name to see how many of each of those three numbers they have in their birth certificate, because Western numerology teaches there should be a certain specific number in order for that issue that the number 2, 7, or 9 represents to be okie dokie, balanced, non-issue. And when there's more than that standard, or less than that standard, and especially between 30 and 55 years of age of a person, they're going to tweak those issues. And part of those issues has to do, which leads us to forgiveness. Forgiveness is a choice. It's as simple as that. Yep. So, I'm ready to begin when you're ready to begin, Alejandra. Should we talk about...
How did you want to, so, but you wanted to wait, are you talking about readings right now, or did you have more you wanted to?
No, we're going to do that after your break. Oh, yeah, I want to talking about, after people label their name, I'm going to talk about the number 2, 7, and 9, which then leads us to the ability or inability to forgive. Because forgiveness is the crux of everything. It's the crux of our health. It's the crux of our emotional self. It's the crux of our spiritual evolution. So anyone who, after you've printed your name, everybody, I want you to look at the letters B as in boy, K as in kiss, T as in Thomas, and put on top of those letters the number 2. Or if you have a B, put a 2 on top of it. If you have a K, all the B's, all the K's, all the T's in your birth name for your first, middle, and last name. Now, in Western numerology, in order for the number 2, which is about balance, it's about setting boundaries. It's the feminine energy. It's the intuitive energy. It is about setting boundaries in relationships, kind of sort of the Libra thingy in some instances along that line. There should be only one letter, either B, K, or T, in a person's birth name. If a person has 3, 4, 5, 6, number 2 letters in their birth name, we're out of balance. Very intuitive, which is not a bad thing, unless it's saying that I am so sensitive that I do not set my boundaries. Too many 2s, more than... I don't get too excited when I do a reading for people if they have 1 or 2, number 2. But okay, fine. But when we get into 3, 4, 5, 6, and whatever, believe me, I've got clients. That says many things. That says oversensitive, very intuitive, not a bad thing. It says that you are codependent on your relationship. You lack incredible self-worth. If it is a man, it can indicate the man in this lifetime is a gay man. If it is all those 2s have to do with out of balance that sets up in relationships playing the victim.
Okay.
Playing the victim. So now what needs to happen is an understanding that, and this is a metaphysical tenet which you know and I want to share with our listeners, that every single human being is a soul. And that soul, prior to incarnation, prior to being born as a human, while in the spirit world, sets up an entire game plan called human life that it plays out. It's like a novel. Chapters, people in chapters, and every single soul, you, me, everyone who's listening, prior to birth, goes to what is called the karmic group. They're what I call your best types. And you know them, they know you. It's like everybody has gone to Penn State in Pennsylvania, and we all went through the same classes, and we're all in the same sorority and fraternity, and we all hung out together, partied together, good, bad, or indifferent, our karmic group. And you ask them, you tell them, I'm going to go be a human being again. This is what I want to accomplish. Will you come be in my new lifetime? They say, no, I've been there, done that. I need a vacation. Some say, okay, fine. What do you want me to do? What role do you want me to play? I know you, you know me. And we as humans say to them, I want you to behave this way. And by my interaction with you, because every soul knows what it wants to work on in a lifetime, it shows up in my readings. I can tell people in a natal reading what you're here to work on. What's your plot line in your novel? Hello? The chapters have to do with the 12-month current year reading, the time-oriented reading. But the natal readings are blueprint readings. I'm talking blueprint right now. And so then every soul says to other people in our sorority, fraternity, karmic group, will you play the role of mother, father? And they say, okay. And every soul chooses, and this is something huge for people to understand. Every soul chooses its parents. Those souls that play the role of parents. And parents, the role of parents, those souls are called imprinters. They imprint upon the youngster aspects of the youngster that the youngster was in previous lifetimes, that they have to decide as souls in this lifetime to continue to be like or not to be like. And so therefore, those of us, and you've had many clients, I have had many clients who are carrying such bitterness and grudges and what have you towards our mothers and our fathers and our sisters and our husbands and our whatever. Hello, snap out of it. You ask them to come into your life. What?
Yeah, it's like when someone complains, you just say, well, you picked them.
Yeah.
That's what.
Yeah,
no, you picked them.
That's right. And what are you learning from that? Now, 9 times out of 10, it is, we're not going to talk about this tonight, but it's about power. You know, Alijandra, that in almost every woman's chart that I do, the number 8, which is connected to the letters H, Q, and Z, the number 8 is missing in almost every woman's chart. And it is about
I have one.
Power. One.
Okay.
Oh, but that's it.
I have one 8.
Well, that can be good or not so good, and we're not going to talk about it on air with your listeners. Okay, fine.
Okay, good.
But, no, we'll talk after the show.
Well, I don't have that name anymore, but it's my maiden name.
No, it's birth certificate name. And I'm glad you said that, because you have a different name that you use now. You send those vibrations to the universe. When we say it, it's a sound, it's an energy. And when women get married or they have stage names or nicknames or what, okay, fine. Those adjusted names, like your current name that you are using now, that's called an angle of development. It is like an adjunct professor. But the professor is your birth certificate name. And no matter what name you are currently throwing out to the universe vibrationally, you are still influenced by that birth certificate name. The current name, the adjunct professor, the angle of development, sometimes is 9 times out of 10, not 10 out of 10, but 9 times out of 10, is positive because it adds in, like putting jewelry on that basic black dress, It adds in maybe missing tools. It adds in maybe missing vibrations. It can be very empowering. Now, I have had some instances where a woman gets married and she takes on her husband's last name, which actually esoteric numerologers do not recommend to be done. It is very, the last name of a person's birth certificate name is their spiritual baggage, their spiritual suitcase coming in here. And when a woman takes on the husband's surname, she's taking on his baggage. She's taking on his karmic vibration. And so if push comes to shove, you keep your birth certificate name hyphen and the husband's last name. And I think a lot of women are dropping the hyphen. So a lot of people in the 60s started just, taking on their own name. They dropped did take on the husband's name. And it was written off as a big women's lip thing. But actually speaking, it was pretty spiritually cool to do. Because that husband would be coming in here, spiritually speaking, with a bunch of garbage in his spiritual name. And as you say your name and his name, you're taking on his garbage. Well, who needs that aggravation? That's not always the case, but it is theoretically applicable. Yes. Okay. So, the number 2 can set up, we have too many 2s, we are overtly sensitive, we're codependent on partnership, we play the victim. It's a feminine energy. If it is out of balance, if there's too many, all right? And so here's our first setup for not being able to forgive because we enjoy playing the victim. He did this and she did that and whatever. It's stroking. It's what's called stroking. So now we move on to the number 7. And the number 7 is connected to the letters G as in girl, P as in Paul, Y as in yes. The number 7 is the spiritual code. The number 7 is missing in a lot of people's choices. Very normal because we're coming out of, we're basically out of, now even the astronomers and astrologers are not sure when we went from the Piscean age into the Aquarian age, but the general attitude is that it was in the 60s when the internet started to really take hold and all the digital and all the electronics, because in the Aquarian age, Aquarius rules the digital world. And so as there was a shift from the Piscean world, which is all about male energy, intellectual energy, rules, regulations, whatever, anyone who expressed their psychic ability, intuitive ability, those 2s, anyone who has a lot of 2s, very intuitive, very, very, very intuitive, very sensitive, almost Aquarian Pisces kind of energies. But when they tried to express that, they got burned at the stake. They got their tongues cut out. They got crucified. They got hurt. Well, okay. So they're coming into this lifetime, which is about the Aquarian age, which is about the work that you do, connecting people to higher self using energy fields in the work that I do, and as a medium and as a psychic intuitive, trying to help people understand that the answers are within. Get in touch within. A lot of them are saying, I don't think so. I'm afraid. I'm not doing that. I remember when. That's unfortunate. So therefore, that inner knowing, to listen to intuition, to guide them to make their number 7 choices. is missing. Now, sometimes people come in with 1, 2, maybe 3. It's usually not more than that. Number 7s in their birth name, G, P, or Y. They are approaching this incarnation from a scientific, analytical, rules and regulations, up in their brain, up in their head, approach spirituality. It says ego. Ego. Oh, ego. And they get nailed. They absolutely can get nailed, especially if there's the letter P in their name. In the middle name, it will happen. P is one of the heavy-duty karma codes, 16-7. That's your tower code. 2 tower cards you were talking about. But then the work that I do, as you said, everybody, I bring in tarot interpretations 1 through 78, and I bring in astrology, and I bring in the ancient interpretation of number codes. Well, that is one of betrayal, of unethical, of ego deflation. If the letter P appears in the last name, then, like Prentice, for instance, in the last name, it indicates spiritual awakening. Hello, turning the light bulbs on. Thank you very much. It is about spiritual awakening through sometimes ego deflation of trusting people and being betrayed in the choices that they make. But the number 7, virtue, is about acceptance. That is the lesson to be learned with the number 7. Acceptance. So when we're talking about people, relationships in our lives that we have set up before we were even born, that are showing up in our life, that may be not treating us so spiffy doodle, we have to set boundaries, learn to say the word no. Those that are Cancer, the sign of Cancer. Cancerians are people pleasers, generally speaking. They don't like to say the word no, because if they say the word no, then people won't like them, and they want to be liked, and blah, 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 blah. And get walked over like a doormat. Now, they're not the only ones, but Cancerians are noted for that. And so the number 7 is about choice. And on what foundation are you making choice? If you're going to come from your ego, shoulda, woulda, coulda, whatever, or, as I learned years ago, my sister and I were in her kitchen, I mean literally years ago, and we were griping and complaining about our mother, who was not the most spiffy-doodle mother. What can I say? My sister looked at me and she said, well, Elizabeth, a goose is a goose. A goose is a goose. You're a swan, I'm a hummingbird, and she's a goose. And we're trying to get her to be a fawn and a hummingbird. Now, we have 2 choices. To keep bitching and complaining and carrying on, try to make her to be what we think, our ego, number 7, what we think she should be doing and who she is, or accept the fact that she is who she is and go from there. So if we set our boundaries, if we stop playing the victim, stop playing the martyr, we learn to accept, which is a free will choice. A goose is a goose. Then we move to the number 9, which is about letting go. Okay, like whatever. I'm a swan. You're a hummingbird. She's a goose. Do I have to approve of what she's saying? No. Do I have to like it? No. But she is who she is, and therefore, letting go. I think a lot of people have difficulty in forgiveness, which is a free will choice. You can hold on with the shoulda, woulda, coulda, My father wasn't the father. He abandoned us. He didn't take care of us. He was a coward. He was this, that, and the other thing. My mother shoulda, woulda, coulda. I don't know. We could like go over that. And what does that do? It makes us feel good. Makes us feel good. Because
I have
we're
to
the
tell you, back
martyrs.
to 7, I had a boyfriend whose first and last name, there was no middle name given at birth, first and last name started with 7.
Yeah.
One was
how
a G
that
and one was a
turned
P. Yeah, that's hints, I think. But, you know, I wanted to make a comment on the 9 letting go. Fortunately, I've got 5 in all 3 names of the 9s. But, you know, I'm thinking of that song from Frozen that everybody just loves, Let It Go, Let It Go. You know, they're always singing. And it's kind of an anthem right now, and a lot of the little girls especially love it. And, you know, I think it's very empowering for them to have a song that they can really get behind, you know, at that young age, and how it speaks to them. So hopefully we're bringing something more to the kids than we had, you know.
Yeah.
So that's great.
Taylor Swift has one which is her number 1. It's called Shake It Off. And her whole, and I was on an interview, and she sang the very thing. You know, we all go through, which is just part of growing up. It's a learning curve, and it's what you do with it. What you do with it that determines your growth. Some people are stunted because they're still expecting other people to behave the way they thought they should behave. Shoulda, woulda, coulda. It's like, knock it off, people. Everyone has free will. And Taylor Swift's song, you know, I mean, I'm not really hip to all these young people. You know, I'm very much a feminine person kind of thing. But her to shake it off is what she's saying. It's like, you know, knock it off. Get over it. Let's move on. Let's move on. Let's move on. I thought there was such wisdom in that. And so...
Yeah, so she catches, you know, Frozen catches the young ones up to 10 or 12, and Taylor's gals are... she takes it from there up to her age. So they're covered. That's
right. Yeah, I don't know what Tony Bennett's going to be singing about, but we'll tune in and we'll find out. What can I say? Well, you know...
well, he was on the Grammys last night. If you saw him, he and Lady Gaga, and they sang Cheek to Cheek, which is, I think, a really special old song. Reminds me of the scene in The Green Mile, you know, dancing cheek to cheek. So, yeah, he was on last night. It was good.
Well, you know, the other day I wrote in my newsletter, and anyone can sign up for my newsletter. You get my newsletter. I post it on my website, and so along these lines, the other morning, it was probably a couple of weeks ago now, I was in meditation, but I don't use that word. It's too highfalutin for me. I always just say quiet time. So I'm in a special chair, and I'm, you know, just having quiet time thinking, and I found myself thinking back over various decades, literally decades, I hate to even admit that, but decades of my life, and thinking about some things that came up there, and it was like, oh my Lord, who was that person? You know, why did you do that? On and on and on and on. And I happened to have the Pandora playing on my cell phone in the other room, and as I'm thinking about some things that maybe were not so spiffy doodle and terrific, and on the radio came Barry Manilow's song, I Made It Through the Rain. And the lyrics, I made it through the rain, I held myself, I made my choices, whatever, and here I am with my head held high and whatever, and I thought to myself, that is Spirit patting Elizabeth on the shoulder saying, good job, good job, good job. You made it through the rain, through the storm. You know, I study Eastern philosophy, and Eastern philosophy in the ancient I Ching teaches, there's one of the hexagrams, one of the lessons, they're called hexagram, folks. There's 64 of them. And so there have been times which I use this practice all the time. I teach it, I use it. The ancient I Ching precedes Christianity, Judaism, whatever. No rules, no regulations. It just gives insight as to how the universe works and the laws of the universe. And it's trying to straighten me out a lot. And one of the hexagrams, one day, well, more than one day over the course of all these years, since 1988, but one day I was really, fussed up. People think that we spiritual teachers just float on clouds and don't have our human experiences. And so this one time I was kind of fussed up. So I did my teaching practice for guidance from my higher self to tell me how to handle whatever the situation was. And it came in and it said, Elizabeth, basically said in so many words, do not be intimidated by the storm. Every storm has a beginning, a middle, and an end. And after every storm, there's a rainbow. And so I'm saying to our listeners in life, who, especially the youngsters, the older we get, it's kind of been there, done that. Well, here we go again. And I made it the first time around. I'll take care of it this time around, whatever. But the youngsters think that this is it. There's no end. I'm going to fall tomorrow. And I'm saying to them, let go. Don't be intimidated by the storm. The number 9 is about drama. The number 9 is about control. And this is a lot of times why people do not forgive, because they try to keep control of the situation. And then it makes them bitter, and it makes them angry. And anger is always a secondary reaction. It is always has a subconscious of number 7, fear, number 2, fear. So when my clients are angry, I ask them, what are you afraid of? Well, he this and she that and shoulda, woulda, couldas and whatever. And it always comes back to control. They're not doing what I think they should be doing. Well, who are you? Who are you? And the more we can get to that number 7 humility of acceptance. But a goose is a goose. I am who I am. I'm entitled. They are who they are. They're entitled. Then we go to the higher vibration of the number 7. Choices, choices, choices. Choices. You don't like it? You have a free will choice. To stay there and be victimized and this and that and the other thing. Or to say, well, you are who you are, but I am who I am. And I have a choice. And I'm going to take my power and move out of this abusive situation. Move away from parents with no guilt, that honor thy mother and thy father, one of those commandments. My attitude towards that is you honor anybody, but you honor your mother and father if they deserve to be honored. If they deserve to be honored by their behavior. We do not honor abuse. We do not honor neglect. We do not honor victimization. So this hinging on to the old Piscean rules and regulations that are tribal, absolutely tribal. And we still have it going on today. In many aspects of American culture and especially Islamic culture, tribal, that keeps power into the Piscean age, male domination. No, we have to take our power, we do have to take our control back from those people, places, situations. And then once we take our power back, have to let them go. It's like changing shoes. We don't wear our baby shoes anymore. And I say that to my people. What are you holding on for? To something that happened when you were 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Well, I just had a client the other day who is 63 years of age and is continuing to blame her mother for the situation that she's in right now. And the woman's 64 years of age. Hello?
Yeah, time to let it go. Shake it off.
It's a choice. It's a choice. It's a choice.
Yeah.
Let it go. Oh, you know, so here, and then speaking of let it go, then I'll shut up. I got this idea that I share, I'm writing about, talking about on my own radio shows, Magical World of Numbers, on Wednesday nights at 7 o'clock Mountain Time. But so many people are constantly focusing on the shoulda, woulda, couldas and the negative. And I say to them, all right, and this is what I've had to do with the man that I was married to very briefly when I was in my 20s. I cannot tell you one good thing about that person. So I'm thinking the other day about that person, except that is who my son chose as soul to come to the earth plane. And I think of it that way. And when that occurred, and once that occurred, then the marriage was over and the contract was done. Okay, fine. So anyway, I'm thinking to myself, this is what I'm telling my clients who are just so caught up in their bitterness and their anger and it affects your health. It's like having that, you know, that commercial that's on television, the man can't breathe and that big elephant sitting on his chest. Did you ever see that with something for some chemical or something? But when people don't forgive, it's like having the elephant sitting on your chest. It's such heavy energy that it totally affects your health. It affects your spiritual health. It affects your mental and emotional health because you're holding on to low energy. That's not what the soul is. So I tell people, all right, look, here's what you do. Here's what you do. Think of just one thing. One positive thing in connection to the relationship of the person that you're trying to either let go of, forgive, or whatever. And you have all this anger and this dark energy build up around you because it is an energy. Thought is energy. And the more bitching we do, the darker we get, and that's the way it is. And then that affects our health, and that's what comes in here. Bottom line, folks. Thought is energy. So you want to carry on and be angry? Fine. But also get ready for a heart attack. Get ready for ailments, health ailments, and what have you. So think of just one thing that's a good thing about that person. And when you feel angry and resentful, shift and go to that one thing that's a good thing. And sometimes, in my case, I really had to search. Think of that one thing. So that when you were like, grumble, 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 go to that one thing that was a nice thing, that was a good thing. Because not everybody is 100% bad. One thing. And go immediately there and focus on that one good thing and shift your energy. So I tell you, I thought, I'm going to try this. Now, this is going to make you laugh, and everyone who's listening. So this man, in my younger years, I was married very briefly to, just enough time to become pregnant, have my wonderful son, and then it was over. But he was just a piece of work, what can I say? I was thinking, like Barry Mill, what was I thinking, Elizabeth? I thought, okay, fine. I'm going to do this. I'm going to think of one thing, because when I think of him, it's not a happy thought. And the only thing I could come up with, which I hold on to, is the guy had great teeth. He had great teeth. And so instead of me feeling the anger and resentment towards him, when that comes up, I go and I think, okay, but he had great teeth. And my son has great teeth.
Hey,
that's
you know,
the whole
let's give it a lot of credit. I mean, it's a good thing.
It's a good thing, and it's a positive thing. Think of a good thing, and it will shift your energy away from the resentment and the anger and the, kind of whatever, emotionalism, to at least one positive thing. And I highly recommend that to people, just to think of one good thing.
Well, Elizabeth, we've really gone quite a long time here. We have a lot of people waiting. I don't know that we're going to get to everyone, but are you feeling ready to go? If we take about maybe a minute and a half break and come back?
Let's do it.
Does that work?
I'm on a roll.
Okay, then we're just a minute and a half, guys. So come back. We're going to start right in. And I wanted to mention that this is Alea Dow's an excerpt from Aquarian Embrace. That's really nice. So we'll be back to you in the Rainbow Rays in a moment. We're back to Healing with the Rainbow Rays. That again was Alea Dow, Aquarian Embrace, and she has a lot of wonderful music out there. She's just that was her on there as well. So she's a beautiful, beautiful soul. Anyway, let's start right in now. What do you need from everyone? Are we going to take this theme that you've been going over, or you have something else planned?
Okay, so what we're doing mini readings, only 2 or 3 minutes, and it comes very fast. I talk very fast when I do this. We all go in Esoteric Numerology, we go in 9-year cycles. We go in 3 big cycles called period cycles, but we go from birth to death into 9-year cycles, 9-year cycles. And so there's a formula that I'm going to calculate here tonight to see what year you are in your current 9-year cycle. Now, when I do big readings, I go very much in depth in this whole explanation for you specifically. But tonight I'm going to point out to you what year you are in, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, and I'm also going to be looking at the compound numbers that are connected to the tarot, and to give some insight, are you in suits, of wands, stress, or whatever. So when you call in, when you come online and come on fast, she's going to open it up, call you by your area code. I want your first and middle name. It's okay if you don't have a middle name. I need your month and day of birth and how old you are. 3 things. Sometimes when you are over 55 years of age, I also want to know what year they're in, because they have slipped into another period cycle that gives me some insight. So those 3 things. First and middle name.
Okay.
Month and day of
so that
birth.
sounds good. Oh, sorry. There's a little bit of a lapse, a time delay here, so we're talking over each other. Go ahead, Elizabeth.
No, that's okay. So let's go. Here we go.
All right, so our first one actually on here, he was one way before it was Stephen in the chat room. But Stephen, I'm going to need you to write in what she's asked for. So first, middle, month and day of birth, and how old. And then we'll get back to number 2. We're going to go to the first one who's been waiting a long time on the, because I talked to her before the show, waiting a long time on the switchboard, so we're going to go over to her. Area code 216, you're on the air. We're finally getting to you. What is your first and middle name?
Yeah, I've never gotten on. Sharon Louise. And my last,
and your
my
month
last
and day of birth?
September 1st.
And how old are you, Sharon Louise?
I'm 49. I'll be 50 this year.
49. Last year you were 49. Okay, excellent. So, a couple things. Here that I would say right off the bat is that anyone who's listening who from 49 to 54 years of age, your lives are going to go in bumper cars. And from 49 to 54 especially, it's a time of accelerated completion of emotional situations, and because the soul's getting ready to change lanes, if you will. And so I want you to know that right off the bat. The name of Louise is ruling you in your middle lane of life from, generally speaking, 30 to 55 for everybody. When I do big readings, I'm very specific. The name of Louise can be a toughie because you have 3 vowels side by side, O, U, and I. And the vowels carry the sky force. They carry the high vibration energy. And in the name of Louise, it's like having triplets, red-headed boy triplets, who are fighting with each other all the time. And it can create emotional confusion to anyone who carries that name. And so the L in your name is telling me that you are experiencing major emotional readjustment between 30 and 55 years of age, and therefore know you are to just be good to yourself, if nothing else. But that's why everyone's competing for the O says, well, this is who I am, and the U says, no, this is my personality, and the I says, no, this is my personality. But usually the O wins out, which is very loving and nurturing. And so I see that you're here to achieve self-employment. You are here to develop independence, and you are in year 8. You're an astrological sign of Virgo, and Virgos are very health conscious, generally speaking. I also call them the housekeepers of the zodiac. You know, 9 times out of 10, they're the cleaners. You know what I mean? They're cleaners. And so you are in year 8, and it looks good. Year 8 is a year of karma, first of all, of money, business, property, power, real estate. I want you to watch your health, especially your teeth and your bones. And your specific year, I mean, an 8 is an 8 is an 8, but your specific year is a 17-8, Sharon Louise, which is the beautiful star card that says hopes and dreams fulfilled, new direction in life, opportunities for you are here for you. And it all looks very good. I'm not going to rule out the fact that maybe in the months of May and June, I want you to pay attention because there's certainly heads up. Could be a job or a work or a career opportunity for you.
I'm doing this.
May and June, excellent. And you certainly could be even anyone who's in an 8 year. We might be having some more people. This is an excellent time to either buy property, sell property, or whatever. But you're running very good numbers connected to your work and your career. You're sitting in the suit of wands. Excellent. Okay?
Okay. Well, it sounds like a lot of good stuff there. And I would remind everyone, this is an archive show, as all of them are. So go in and later, if you didn't get all of it down, especially if you don't write fast like I do, listening to the show again. Just go in and it's free, and you can download the archives, or at least listen live to the archives.
Thank
you,
the way that you can
fill in the gaps. Just want to remind everyone. Okay, so Sharon, glad to hear from you, and we're going to put you back on mute if you'd like to hear more of the show. All right.
Thank you, okay?
Thank you, Sharon.
Welcome.
Bye.
And we have Stevens now information, and he's got two middle names. It's Stephen Peter Arthur. February 28th is the birth date. He's 33. He looks like going on 34. He's in our chat room. So I'll have to do it for him.
So I have to look at it at 34 and know, Stephen, that, and Peter Arthur, it really is a contradiction of emotional energies going on here, bless your heart, which we won't get into right now. And so, but I see a lot of independence, a lot of intellectual, mental energy in that name, Stephen Peter Arthur. A lot of coming from the head, intellect. And so let's just see. You have a 28 birthday number, which is good for working with groups, working in business, but still very independent. And let's see what year you are in. And it is year 2 of your current 9-year cycle. Now, year 2, and it's an 11-2 and a 38-2. So year 2 might be a little toughy for you to kind of deal with because it's slow moving like a turtle. All the S's and the H and the P and the A and the H and the name of those are powerhouses. They want to, let's get this show on the road, let's make it happen, let's do this and that and the other thing. Well, chill out here. In 2015, you are dealing with partnerships, you're dealing with karmic partnerships one-on-one, you're dealing with mother issues, and to know you're sitting in the suit of cups, which all throughout the year has to do with emotional involvement in situations. And the month of March and April, especially March, there may be some significant changes go on here for you that have to do, March and April, that have to do with planning prior to a new beginning, a new career. You're dealing with contracts, relationships, but the key thing is here, two things. There can be a woman, very powerful, late 40s on up, older than you. There's big change this year for you, and it can come very suddenly from what I see here. Suddenly this, suddenly that. Older woman, very instrumental in moving you forward. And also know that I think there can be some opportunities that come March and April for planning prior to a new career, new relationship, new situation. In fact, you might also find yourself involved in a partnership with an older woman, a woman older than you, either business-wise or emotionally. So just, you need to know that this is a very high-strung year. It's not going to be a walk in the park. But listen to your intuition, because you're guided from within. It's like your intelligence is up, okay? Don't overanalyze everything. All done. Thanks, Stephen.
Okay. Stephen, if you wouldn't mind, he usually will write some things in and we'll get back to his comments later. Okay, let's go to the next one here. 408 area code, you're on the air. I think I recognize this phone number. Is this Erica?
Yes.
Okay, so
Hi.
Erica, go ahead and give her first and, well, Erica, and then your middle name and then your month and day of birth and how old you are currently.
Erica with a C and Christina with no H. C-R. And then I'm 10, 17, and I'm 39.
And 39. Okay, excellent. And so, 1017 is your Libra. You know, Libras went through a Saturn in Libra 3, 4, 5 years ago. It's a little toughy, but so what can I say? Well, you're in your middle lane of life, getting ready to rotate into your into your decade of your 40s, which is totally different than the decade of your 30s. and this goes for everybody, if you will. You are ruled by the beautiful star card in Tarot, and in this middle lane of life. Now, the number 17 is your birthday number. It's your personality, and sometimes, as a point of encouragement, the 17 is very, very, very good birthday number to have influencing you from 30 to 55. But sometimes, Erica, it takes into your 40s for all the good stuff to really kick in big time. And know that if you stay very focused, the name of Erica is not necessarily the most focused number in the whole world. Your achievement number is to be teacher, humanitarian, but there's also independence and management in your temperament. So be patient. If you haven't hit the gold mine yet, know that your potential for you to do that will probably kick into your 40s. Anyone who has a 17 birthday number, with few exceptions, have to wait until their 40s for that star card to really bring its positive benefit to you. So right now, at age 39, you are going to go through some changes, just from your age. It goes for anyone who's 39 years of age. It's called an age digit vibration. And you are in year 7 of your current 9-year cycle. And year 7, hello, is about choices. I want you to slow your life down. Now, there's a contradiction here. A 7 year is a quiet year. A 7 year is a spiritual year. Yours is a 16-7 year. I want you to pay attention to your hunches and your relationships. Watch for ethics. Watch for your choices. If it doesn't feel right, don't do it, because 16-7 can be nasty as far as relationships go. It's a quiet year. You may feel funky, low energy this year. Great year for spiritual work, study, yoga, retreat, travel, go where there's water. But yours is also a 34-7 year. I mean, a 7 is a 7 is a 7. These are called octaves. 7, 16, 7, 34-7 is your year. 34-7 is in your Suit of Wands, and it says, hello, going back to the basic code for the number 7, which is choice. There's going to be tons of activity in your life. New people, activity, opportunity. This is a thinking year where you're going to have to make a whole bunch of choices from the opportunities that are presented to you that are going to move you forward. So it's a push-pull. You get quiet, you do your spiritual work and your guidance. There's an awakening going on, and that, paying attention to that, is going to help you decide with your free will the choices that are presented to you this year. They're pretty big. They're good, and they're pretty big.
Thank you.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. Pretty big.
So, well, let you assimilate that, Erica. Do you want me to put you back on mute to hear the rest of the show?
Sure.
Okay. Glad you called in.
Me too.
Okay, let's see what Stephen said. We'll go to the next one after that. And, I don't see. Stephen, you weigh in, okay, unless I'm not doing this up all the way. Oops, okay. We'll get some feedback. Oh, he said thank you. Okay, so let's go to area code 617. You're on the air. Your first name and where are you calling from?
Sure, my first name is Melissa.
Melissa. And where are you calling from, Melissa?
Boston.
Boston. All right.
Well,
okay, so she'll need your middle name
Thank
now,
you.
Melissa, and the rest of the data there.
It's Linda. And you need my birthday, or is it just the
Oh,
date?
I got Melissa down. It's Linda.
Yeah.
How did I hear Melissa? Okay, Linda. Sorry.
No, my first name is Melissa, and you said the middle is Linda. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was right about Melissa. All right. Okay, Melissa, Linda.
And what's your
Birthday?
month and day of birth, Melissa Linda?
130/78.
130. And how old are you, honey?
37.
37 is a very important age. We have a formula in Esoteric Numerology called plateaus. And 37 is one of them. 37, the last one for you and anyone who's 37 was 28. The next one will be 46, 55, 64, and 73, 82. Those ages lay down the foundation for new direction in some fashion in your life. And so I want you to get ready for that, number one. And number two, you are in, let's see here, and you just basically had a birthday. You are in year 3 of your 9-year cycle, and it's a 12-3. Now, a 3-year is a happy year. I'm writing about it in my newsletter that goes out in March. I love the number 3. The number 3 is the Empress card in Tarot. She's about expansion. She's about opportunity. She's about abundance, writing, traveling. It's the party animal year, okay? And it's the year that says, also, watch your money, because it is such a frivolous energy year. It's a happy year. It's a party year. You know, it's like a frat party sort of energy throughout the year that we can overspend. We can get a little carried away. It is ruled by Jupiter. Number 3 is ruled by Jupiter in the work that I do, of expansion, of good luck. There's good luck here for you, and there's opportunity here for you. This is a year of travel, writing. You may not feel terribly centered, A to B, B to C, sitting down. You want to kind of just, it's a play here. That's the best thing that I could say. Now, the number 3 on a deeper level, your 3 year, it's about your values. Values, values, values. And I am telling you that your soul is going to present to you people, places, situations, and quite possibly someone in their 30s that you're going to have to reset your values in thinking about him or her about in partnerships in some fashion. Your year is a 12-3 year that's going to be like 2 steps forward, 1 step back. And significant, emotional, adjustment about your own values, your own self-worth, your own. And this is very internal. And so it's laying down like a farmer planting seeds through an attitude adjustment about your values during your 37th year of age. That's really then, when you are 38 years of age, you're really going to see the results. Big time. 38 for you is going to bring you an age that is very, very good and very, very important for something new that's beginning. Something new that, it could be the beginning of a marriage. It could be the beginning of a new business. It could be the beginning of this, something being planned when you're 38. So this is good, honey. You're running the suit of cups and significant reevaluation of your own self-worth and desire. Yep.
Wow. Okay. A lot on the plate there. Well, Melissa, how does that feel?
Definitely feels good. I'm kind of in a transition now. Like, my job is set to end at the end of the month. So I'm thinking maybe this is the universe's way of getting rid of some stuff. Although I'm panicking a little bit. I've been putting it out like, all right, I am ready to be a business owner, and I'm ready to do it now. So that
Well,
was
you've
kind
got,
of,
again, as I've encouraged everybody, if you didn't get it all down, because I'm not real good at notes myself, just go to the archives today. You can pull this up and listen to it over and over again and take good notes and everything. But sounds pretty exciting. And is this your first time here on the show? Or have you been to the show?
It's my first time calling in, but it's not my first time listening.
Oh, okay. Well, welcome back. And how about if I put you on mute so you can hear more of the show? Would you like that?
Sure.
All righty. Glad you called in.
Thank you, Melissa.
Okay.
And you know,
let's go. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Elizabeth.
But in case in point is Melissa, I can only cover so much in our time that we have here. We only have a few minutes left for our visit. But if they go to my website and go to special offers, if nothing else, on that website, they can get a 6-month reading that's all recorded, much more detail, that helps them know where they're going, or they can even have a 12-month reading. It's the best time to have a 12-month current year reading is around the month of your birthday. Give or take a couple months before, a couple months after. That's when the energy shift, the issue shift, the theme shift occurs. So those folks that I'm doing just these mini readings, if they want to know more, there's a special, my Valentine's special is up there, which is like such a deal. It doesn't come around all the time.
It is a really good deal, I would say,
and
absolutely.
then, of course, the numerology readings, if you want even more information, to help you, because I am just doing gross general themes in our visit, in these call-ins.
But, even though there's many ones, they're really full of meat, so you do good many readings. So, anyway, all right, let's see if we can get a couple more in before the end of the show. What do you say here?
Let's go for it.
All right, so area code 708, that you thought you'd never make.
Hello, hi.
Your first name and where are you calling from?
My name is Delphine.
Sorry? Delphine.
Delphine. My middle name is Nicole. I'm calling from Illinois, and my birthday is October 7th. And I'm 36.
You must be one of our Chicago people. October 7th. And you're how old right now?
36.
36. All right. Take it away a little bit.
So anyone 36 years of age, know that just from your age, that particular formula connected to a person age called an age digit says that anyone who's 36, or if they're 54, or if they're 45, and you're listening, there's going to be endings, finishing, and completions going in your life during those ages. Know that it has to do with money deals, property deals, executive deals, very pragmatic, practical situations going on, and during those ages that I just listed for you. Now, Delphine, are you single?
Yes, I am.
Yes. That's very normal for anyone who has a birthday number of a 7. That is your temperament, that is your personality, and I call it the Greta Garbo number. I want to be alone. I
want to be alone.
It's a quiet vibration. It's a quiet personality, usually for spiritual reasons, so that the soul can get through to you, because the name of Nicole is an energy field coming in here emotionally from past lifetimes that is a little wild and crazy, Nicole, and your soul is saying to you, or giving you opportunities for quiet time for choices, to reset your choices, and that you take your power from. So know that it's quite normal for a while for you to be single. Now, having said that, you are in year 6 of your current 9-year cycle, and year 6 is the Lover's card in Tarot. So after I just got done saying single, now I'm going to start talking about the Lover's card. But year 6 is about house and home and business. It is an excellent year for businesses that are service-oriented businesses. It's excellent. You will feel this year, 2015, entertaining, fixing up your house, wallpapering, carpeting, cooking, all sorts of domestic things. Yours is a 24/6, which is called the vibration. And know that it's excellent for, I think, financial gain through your work and your career. 24/6 is the year that you are in. And know that the major theme for you this year will be relationships. Now, not all the relationships are going to be spiffy-doodle. Not terrific. Especially those that are close in. Like mother, father, sister, brother, girlfriend, boyfriend. There can be some fussiness go on. So it's kind of an emotional year for you, but the outcome is positive, connected to your work and connected to your career. And you are sitting in the suit of one, which is day in, day out opportunity. Opportunity is here for you. And I also see that what you're here to achieve is probably, I don't know what year that you were born in, but know that you're just starting out. And as you get deeper and deeper into your 40s, I think there's some excellent business and career opportunities for you. I think so. So you enjoy your quiet time because that's when Spirit is guiding you. Anyone who has a number 7 birthday number is very prone to temperaments that work alone. They need peace and quiet. They cannot deal with chaos. They need to live in serenity, nature, desert, mountains, water. They are an energy. It's a total opposite than your first lane of life. The number 7 is that of introspection. So allow that. You're being guided from within, honey. There's good stuff here, especially in your career this year for you, 2015. Okay?
You go by the name of Nicole, though, right? Normally?
Yes.
Yeah, because I remember Nicole from other times. I have to tell you that your October 7th is my half birthday, because I'm April 7th. So every time October 7th rolls around, I think, oh, I'm halfway through. So, I understand the 7 energy very well, being born on the 7th day, and we need our space, boy. So, anyway, that sounded like a great reading. I'm going to go ahead and put you back on mute. I'm glad you called in. And we might be able to get one more in here. Yeah, we're not going to be able to get everyone tonight, but area code 805, we got you in just before the end here. What is your name and where are you calling from?
Thank you. Yes, this is Donna. I'm calling from California. And hi. My birthday is April 22nd, and I'm 60. And my name is Donna Mary Heath, Heath.
Oh, so you were able, because you were in the chat room earlier, and I wasn't sure.
Yeah, I'm so glad.
So you covered your bases. I thought we weren't going to be able to get you a reading.
About you.
Oh, you were a smart girl to go to the switchboard.
Donna,
okay, so go ahead.
What year were you born, Donna?
I was born in 1954, and I'm 60.
Okay, excellent. Oh, this is very nice. Well, know that somewhere around the age of, I'm calculating, hold on. The age of 55, you swung into your 3rd final lane of life with your wisdom years. I think this is the first person tonight that we've talked about here. And this is a whole new beginning for you. This is very nice. This 3rd lane of life is ruled by the Ace of Heath and your birth year. And your birth year, 1954, adds to a number 19, which adds to a number 1. Now, that says that in this 3rd lane of life, there is a whole new beginning for you in this lane of life. A whole new direction, independence, leadership. And it's a 19-1, which is the beautiful sun card in Tarot. prosperity, opportunities. If you're not in a relationship, the opportunity for a very nice relationship is here for you. And as long as you take your power and you make something of yourself, because the universe is requiring that, and the H of peace rules you, and that's a money code. And so therefore, I think this third lane of life looks a little prosperous for you, Mary. Donna, Mary. Number one. Number two, let's see here. I'm going to do this as though you are already at 250. So you're in a 7-year, I think this year, 2015, is going to have travel, going to have opportunity. I want you to watch your money. I want you to watch your health. But I think you're going to have a lot of choices to be made here. And it can be a little slow moving. So if you have an opportunity, keep listening to Alijandra and do the spiritual work. Listening, doing yoga, reading. You will find an interest probably in spiritual guidance. But this, I think this is going to be kind of a nice one for you, as long as you slow yourself down and take good care of your health and be sure you get enough sleep. Yes. Okay?
Yes. Oh, good. I have something to look forward to.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you, Donna, for calling in. I know you called in before, and you look familiar here.
Yeah,
so I'm glad
that
you think about coming to the show. We really appreciate when you do. So we'll put you back on mute. Well, you want to slip one more in? Think we can do it?
One more time.
One more. Okay, here we go. Area code 5'3". We almost didn't get you. What is your name and where are you calling from? Did they fall asleep over there? 5'3"? Okay, I'm gonna have to go back on mute. We're gonna do the next one. Area code 11111111111. That's the way it looks on here. What is your name and where are you calling from? Hello?
I think
111 area code?
I don't think there is a 111 area code.
Well, it's showing all ones. But we have you're talking to me, so I know, we've got you on here. What is your name and where are you calling from? All right, you got open mic here. Hello? Did you want a reading? Okay, looks like we lost, it dropped. Okay, let's try 513 again then. 513, you're on the air. Area code 513? Okay.
I think it's a sign that we are done.
I think it's a sign, too, that it's time to go. And, it's, as always, Elizabeth, it's been such a pleasure having you on. And
we always have a great time, and I'm just asking everyone, go to my website, The Magical World of Numbers, or ElizabethSummers.com. Read over that toolbar, numerology reading, so they do sign up for my newsletters and listen to my show. Alijandra listens, I listen, and we have a really good time. So, Alijandra, thank you so much. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. I just love having you on, and you know your subject so amazingly. It's like you eat, breathe, and dream it, and you're just such an expert at it. And it's wonderful having someone who's so skilled at that. It's not easy pulling all of that together, and you're so right on with the readings and everything. So I just love having you, and I know from the amount of people trying to get on and get readings today, we did get most of them. We had to turn a couple away, but yeah, even in that short time, we managed to get most of them on. So anyway, I want to thank you, and I want to thank also the chat room and the people that called in, and get the archive so you have your reading on there. And I want to wish everyone a wonderful, wonderful week, and we'll see you next week with Kimberly Hart, and it's on relationships. Okay, so anyway, have a great week. Namaste, everyone.
You have been listening to Healing with the Rainbow Rays with your host, Alijandra. We appreciate you as a listener and invite you to return to future shows on Monday evenings at 9 p.m. through 10:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Alijandra can be contacted by email at alejandra7777@yahoo.com. She also has 3 fan sites on Facebook: Healing with Rainbow Rays, Accelerated Manifesting, and Rainbow Dolphin Pod Healing. Alejandra can be followed on Twitter at Alejandra7777. For information about her private sessions, ongoing classes, webinars, and speaking engagements, please visit her website at www.colorhealing.com. Namaste.